Amid heightened regional tensions and growing anxiety about China, Australia and Japan have agreed to deeper defence ties and greater military cooperation. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull held talks with his Japanese counterpart in Sydney, where the two leaders discussed regional stability and trade. Here's political reporter Jane Norman.
The two leaders chose a serene setting for their morning walk, but this visit is against a backdrop of great global uncertainty. Shinzo Abe is on a four-nation tour, firming up friendships ahead of Donald Trump's inauguration next week. Both Australia and Japan are keen to ensure the US maintains its presence in the region, although unsure what shape it'll take.
For both of our nations, the United States remains the cornerstone of our strategic and security arrangements.
This is Chinese Navy.
Beijing's increasingly aggressive stance in the East and South China Seas has both countries on edge. Then there's North Korea's pursuit of nuclear weapons.
This is more necessary than ever before for Japan and Australia as special strategic partners to play a leading role for regional peace and prosperity.
On the 60th anniversary of the first Australia-Japan Commerce Pact, the two leaders pledged to promote the benefits of free trade and pursue the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, despite Donald Trump's vow to kill it off.
It is our earnest hope that we will continue to see the ratification of the TPP by all 12 countries.
In what's been described as a warm and productive meeting, Malcolm Turnbull raised the sensitive topic of whaling, expressing his concerns about Japan's so-called scientific program. Outside, though,
we are all-weather friends.
Diplomacy was on display. Shinzo Abe's visit caps off a tumultuous week for the government, dominated by a travel expenses scandal that forced the resignation of Health Minister Susan Lee. The Prime Minister has sought to limit the fallout by announcing sweeping changes to parliamentary entitlements and promising cultural change. And it appears he has broad cross-party support for the plan. But crossbenchers want the government to go even further.
The one thing that seems to be missing here is having adequate financial penalties for MPs that make a mistake or do the wrong thing.
We'll also be insisting through legislation that we establish a national anti-corruption watchdog.
Putting the Prime Minister's domestic diplomacy skills to the test. Jane Norman, ABC News, Canberra.